What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the 2024 Kia EV6. Now this one is the GT all-wheel drive, top of the line at $64,000, finished in a really cool steel matte gray. Now comment below, do you think the Kia EV6 is a better EV than the Mustang Mach-E? Honestly, I think these two are probably my top picks when looking at crossover electric vehicles, particularly because the interiors are normal in both cars. Are actually nice to drive cars. They look cool, so they're not all weird like most electric cars seem to be. So comment below, would you go for the Kia EV6 or the Mustang Mach-E similarly equipped? Heck, both of them offer a GT, which is kind of neat to see. Now, one thing really cool when you open up this hood section, there is extra storage. So a good spot to maybe put a charger or a few little items here and there. But then from here, you can see a little bit of the mechanics of this fully electric crossover. This does have a 77.4 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, makes 576 horsepower with 545 pound-feet of torque. It's got electronically controlled rear limited slip diff. You also have electronically controlled suspension, dual motor E all-wheel drive, and 0 to 60 is 3.4 seconds. With that, you're going to expect about 218 miles of range. It can tow about 2,300 pounds, and curb weight is up to 4,800 pounds. Now, one of the really cool features that Kia offers on a lot of their cars, especially the EV6, they go ahead and lock it and hold down the automatic start. We can go ahead and do the remote start like any typical car, but we can drive the car from the key fob. So holding the forwards button now, the car is going to do its thing. You can hear it turn on. And you can easily get yourself in and out of parking spaces, maybe your garage or driveway, or you happen to park in a giant puddle, it rained while you're in the store, you can easily get your car in the better position. So that's a really cool feature. The parking sensors will do their thing, so it shouldn't run into you. I guess let's try that, see what happened when I walk behind the car. All right, it stopped without me stopping it. They haven't really changed anything over the years of the EV6, but still a cool looking car, nice headlight design, got some black trim, forward facing camera, parking sensors, a nice trim design down here, and some gloss black. Active grille shutters as well for extra cooling. We have one of the safety sensors and a nice gloss black chin spoiler. So I think this is a really cool looking car. It has a little bit of that futuristic UFO style, but it still looks nice. I like the clamshell design on the hood. And of course, the matte color paint looks awesome, and it's only like a $600 option for this paint, which isn't too bad. Got a nice sharp body line on that portion, rounded around these wheels, and I like how you have body color for all the fender flares, so they look really good. We got the neon color for these massive brake calipers, 21-inch wheel with a 5-spoke design, and then some gloss black trim down below on the side skirt that kind of flares upwards. Smooth body lines as well, flush mounted design on these door handles, and power folding side mirrors. Pressing the button for unlock, you can see them pop outwards. Got the turn signal, camera as well, and then gloss black all around them. Up above, you can see your sunroof, more of this body color throughout it. Nice design on the spoiler. I like this little winglet piece, it looks really cool. Roof kind of appears like it's floating, and that side trim piece kind of makes its way into the taillights. So overall, it's a cool looking car. The rear has a nice design for the fenders. Can't really complain. It's got enough weirdness to be an EV, but it still looks good at the same time. Now for the charge port right here, you can press it right there. It's gonna automatically pop open. You can see our plug. So all the modern things, so if you wanna charge it quickly and everything, you can do all that. And then we also have the button right here to go ahead and close it. You got your LED taillight, wraps around the entire rear end. Then you can see a little bit of this dark chrome trim. Got all your badging, of course. Gloss black trim down below with parking sensors. Reverse light is down there, and it comes together pretty nicely. For the cargo space, there's gonna be a button on the right side of the camera. Of course, we do have the button on the key fob, which has a neat look to it. And you're gonna see we have a privacy cover up here. Gives you a good indication of the ceiling for when you are loading tall items. We do have that sloping rear end, so of course, too tall of items, you gotta kind of push them towards the seats. Now with the privacy cover, you can easily get this out of the way, give yourself a little bit more space, and then underneath the floor, there is extra cargo space, tire repair kit as well. And then one thing I really like, you can pull these seats down with levers mounted back here. There's a lot of expensive cars that don't have that. I think that is a fantastic touch. So you got quite a lot of cargo space in this car. And then as we make our way to the front, hitting the unlock button again, those flush mounted door handles will pop outwards. So pretty nice design the way they're working. So from here, you're gonna take a look at the interior. Got some hard plastic on the rear door, but you get this nice micro suede material, some piano black for the grab handle, heated seats as well. And then with everything folded down, you can see just how flat everything is, giving you quite a lot of space. So you're gonna pull the recline lever, get this back upwards, and then we can check out the back seats. Now, sitting here at 5'11", I have pretty good amount of space. Knee room is really good, headroom is great as well. So definitely pretty roomy. You do have to pull that lever to pull the seat up, so unfortunately you have to be kind of on both sides to pull these back up. But we have USB ports down below here. Air vents are going to be located over here. We do have a little bit of ambient lighting. I'd say my only complaint, the seat feels a little low, like my feet are kind of high if they're not all the way outwards. So it could be a little bit more comfortable, but overall I'd say it's pretty decent. Popping that down, we do have an armrest with storage, and I like how this goes from cup holders to just a square box. So pretty neat design with that. Moving on to the front seat space now. Not too hard to get in and out of this car. Grabbing the door handle, you are going to get a little bit more soft touch material up for the front passengers. Same material over here, window and mirror controls with everything. Meridian sound system, nice cup holder. And then these are the bucket seats that the GT will have. So you have the black leather material with this really nice neon color for piping and stitching, and the Alcantara micro suede for the inserts. All manual controls. You got the sport pedals, extra storage all down below with ambient lighting, and then the cool 2-spoke design on the steering wheel. So hopping in here now, keeping my foot on the brake, we can fire it up. So we got all the screens that I'll turn on. Nice design on the steering wheel with the silver trim. Cruise control settings over on the left side with distance pacing, lane keeping, all that. We have some Bluetooth and audio controls on the right side, and then your drive modes down below. You can toggle into your GT mode. We've got some nice green icons that will pop up on the gauge cluster. And then on the left side, we have your normal drive modes. So you can go into the 3 ones, you just toggle that, and it'll give you a nice depiction for each drive mode as well. Now there are steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. These are for the regenerative braking. You can see that icon right there. And you can toggle these left and right, and you can see how that blue icon is gonna go left and right. So that'll make it coast more or give you more regen. Stock on the right side for the windshield wipers, stock on the left for headlights and turn signal. And then down below we have traction control, electronic park and brake, charge port, trunk release as well. One of your air vents, and then this cool material surrounding everything. We have the GT icon, some more of that. And then this is basically what you're gonna be familiar with a bunch of Kias. So you can see the infotainment screen, very easy to use. We do have climate controls that are gonna pop up. So you can get a good animation with nice depictions of everything. Different zones, rear warmer. You can adjust a few things right there. Going to home, if you hit the icon right here. So I like all the information you're gonna get. Clock as well, a few more. And then a good depiction of your range. Now there are physical climate controls technically down below. You can see your temperatures on the left and right, all sorts of other controls throughout the center. However, if you want to adjust it, you toggle that, and now it's everything for the radio and media. So you can control your volume now, your seek and track, different tuning and scrolling, and basically go back and forth between climate controls and those controls. Now you're gonna get heated seats as well as steering wheel, 2 USB ports, extra storage down below, and then this nice silver material with ambient lighting throughout the center. For the drive select, we just rotate this dial. In reverse, you're gonna get that backup camera with a top-down view. You can toggle this as well. See a few different. You have your 360 camera as well. P button is right here. And then when you do your turn signal, you're gonna get that cool camera system popping up on the center. So pretty cool design for all of that. We have the brake hold, a shortcut to the camera, wireless charging and storage, and then extra storage all down below. I also like the striping material you're gonna get for this armrest, and then a pretty large glove box on the far right side. One last look at the interior. Like I said, it hasn't really changed at all for the Kia EV6. However, this is a nice looking car. It's easy to use, it's normal feeling. So I think this and that Mustang Mach-E both just feel like cool EVs. So this is definitely not a bad way to go. Controls up above, there are garage door buttons underneath here. And then for the sunshade, you just pull that back once. The shade will automatically pop backwards, and then followed by the glass lifting up and sliding all the way back. So setting off in the EV6 in GT mode, this thing is pretty darn fast. Whew. And that's 20 to 60 in no time at all. Each drive modes all make a pretty good difference. So sport mode, still really quick, but not quite GT. And then of course eco mode is much more like a normal car, I guess. This thing is really fast, especially in sport and GT. So if you keep it in normal mode, of course, that's kind of your normal. You get that instant torque, but it's not crazy. When you put it up a notch, this makes the blood flow just stop in your body. It is crazy. Now we have the adaptive steering on and everything. This car, I think Kia has always done a fantastic job at the smart driving. Like the radar cruise control, the lane keeping, the steering intervention, it works so well. And that's one thing that I like with this car for an EV. You know, I'm not the biggest EV fan, but this works really nicely. All the features it has, it drives good too. It's actually a nice place to be. Now, these bucket seats are not quite as comfortable as the normal car, of course. These are more sporty, but I like them. They're sporty looking. They feel cool to be in. So this kind of adds that fun factor that most electric cars just don't have. So I like that Kia offers you something that is blisteringly fast and extra sporty. Normal ride quality though, this thing is still really nice to be in. It's smooth and comfortable, great visibility all around. Even over your right and left shoulder, the back corner is a little tight to see out of. It's just, you know, you got that sloping rear end, so it makes it a little bit harder to see around, but with your mirrors adjusted properly, of course, using your turn signal cameras as well, it makes it so easy. So this car is not anything you're gonna have an issue with just using it for the day-to-day. The ride quality is pretty good. The interior technology, the one drawback is I'm not the biggest fan. While this is cool looking, I'm not the biggest fan of having to go into each little icon to change it to see climate controls and things like that. I just think with touchscreen in cars, they're so tiny. You have a little tiny window to tap, so it's kind of, you got to take your eyes off the road, I think, to make these adjustments. So I'm not the biggest fan. Now, if we at least keep this climate up, which again, you got to go through different menus to get there, that makes it a little bit easier. But overall, once you get used to this, I really don't have a complaint. Just I wouldn't mind physical buttons. And I know modern cars, you know, you can't have everything a physical button because you have a million buttons, but still wouldn't be bad to have just a physical fan speed or something simple. But nonetheless, this is how Kia's done it, and overall it does work pretty well to be an easy car. Gauge cluster, everything works nicely, so it's an easy car to kind of just operate and make all of your adjustments. Drive modes all make a really big difference, like I mentioned. That is definitely a cool touch to see. And then the regen braking, depending on which mode you're in, it will adjust how well it works. So right now in sport mode, it'll let me do it all the way regen, where I take my foot off the gas and brake, and it's gonna come down to pretty much a standstill. And then if you tap it several times to the right, it'll let you coast it with my foot off the gas and brake. So I like how it works. It seems pretty nice. Build quality seems good too. Everything feels nice when you close the doors. It feels solid. Use of materials is pretty good. While there's no like genuine leather or anything, even at 64 grand fully loaded, you know, it's not the most expensive car out there. I mean, there's $80,000 cars with fake leathers. So at least this car has good materials. They all look nice, they feel nice, and I don't think you're really gonna have any complaints. Turning circle is a little large. I would have expected this to turn tighter, but all the cameras work good. Sensors all do their thing. And of course, being all-wheel drive, of course, the front might not turn as tight as you might expect. But overall driving experience, I think you're going to enjoy this. Like I said, it's a comfortable, normal car to be in, and it gives you the comfort aspects of a typical vehicle, but then you have that crazy electronic power from a performance-focused EV to where you can haul, you can just move in this car, it will go, and you're gonna do it in comfort as well. So really well-rounded EV crossover, good price range too when you look at the whole spectrum of the Kia EV6. So I think there's gonna be one for everyone, and it's not gonna be a car you're not gonna enjoy. You're gonna like driving it, being in it, using it, and all the features really come together to be pretty nice.